Hello again everyone, Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Today's weekly challenge on Gran Turismo 7 that we got a good eye on a brand new special event will be exclusive for every 8 generations of Corvette. We'll be heading up to Grand Valley Highway 1 for the 1-man category as a limited time only, along with 4 events including the Lightweight K-Cup at Argent Norwood, which has now been completed, and receive a 6-star roulette ticket to go in the first part, along with 150,000 GT credit and 6-star roulette ticket to go compete in 5 events all at once. Will go for the car category will be received for a free prize. Now, we got a good list to have the other 3 events as we go down to American FR Challenge 550 to take the Big Willow at Willow Springs International Raceway, followed by Nissan GTR Cup and Dragon Trail Gardens, and also for the World Touring Car 800 at Autodrome Lago Maggiore to be in the full course. For this main segment, all 3 events will be going in to be using in every different versions on Chevrolet Corvette, and especially to have 1 or 2 events will be going by exception to be using with different versions of the Nissan GTR cars and Lightweight K cars, especially for the Suzuki Carry KC 2012 as part of May 2025 update. Better be ready and get set, and this will give a good 3 race only. Will go for the Corvette generations. As always, if you're new to my YouTube channel, be sure click the subscribe button, then leave a like and comment at the section down below. Check out the links on the description if you want to see more. Don't forget to click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos in the later future. Let's begin, and ready to enter for today's weekly challenge. I am so very excited about my YouTube channel. It's getting closer to have a final push as I stop by in 950 subscribers by only 50 more to go. This is all I've been spent for over 13 years, and it's all about taking a lot of brand new content videos. Takes a long time by doing hard work. As I go down and gonna have to be ready up before the weekly challenges to go over a reminder in about 1 day left until Friday. We'll be moving on to go in the 4th week of May. So I had to go there and proceed to be on the first round of the race in American FR Challenge 550. We'll be going suggestions to be picking by determined to go with different generations of Corvette by the classic, muscle car, sports car, and exotic supercars, including the C7 CR1 2019 to go over a class of American hypercar. For my main pick, I'll have to start out and go for the Chevy Corvette C06 5th generation 2001 with a brand new UDRS Inspirtech livery. But in that case, if you already seen from my full walkthrough when racing at Autodrome de Interlagos, just beautiful, competitive, and wide-body kit to be out there ready to give a good look as the C5R version to go for a variation on the style. As I went down to do some parts will be removed and go reverted to be right back into 589.59 performance point, and except to have 3 installed parts on engine tuning and 2 stages of bodywork and weight reduction. But I'll have to keep it on the fully customized suspension on the LSD and suspension. In that case, power restrictor might need to go decrease into 76%, but it'll have to tweak it a little bit much more decrease to be at 307 horsepower. Recalculate, and there you go. That should do perfectly and get a good amount of weight. Will have to be stay remain by 2,577 pounds. This will be having an opportunity of decision if you're about to go for every different Corvettes from the C1 to C8. It gives me a lot of pressure, so I'll have to decide for myself and give a good kind of sports car. We'll be going enter to have the first part of the race and stop at race number 3 in WTC 800 in Lago Maggiore in the full course. So first up, Big Willow, 10th position, and have a good focusing on Daniel Solis in the Dodge Viper GTS 2002. I am so prepared and ready to go by the rolling start until the countdown will be initiated to go for 3 seconds and leave a good mark to be climbing up into first place by the main goal. Did you know why I really like about Corvettes throughout my life? I just starting out by playing Corvette on the Game Boy Advance when I was a kid. It turns out it was so brilliant when it comes to have some different generations from C1 to C5 throughout the years onto the 20th century and early 21st century, since the 50th anniversary just came out in 2003. got to admit, I kinda like about the Game Boy Advance version of Corvette because it turns out to have all kinds of different year models throughout the past from the present and going onward in the vision of the future, including this one by arriving in the year 2020s. But we still have the C5, C6, C7, and also for C8 Corvettes it still exists around in the 21st century. But all the times of eras and years, but every Corvette always have to come in and have a different form of shape and have a moniker will be entered by every brand new chapter. But it looks like the 5th generation Corvette just coming a long way to be entered to GT7 as this one is a 2001 model. So I have a good eye on two Dodge vehicles on Nicholas Burbiller and Daniel Solis. The Challenger and the Bobber GTS is about to go closing in towards the end of the first lap as I got myself to go faster lead in lap number 2 by a minute, 28.446 seconds. Sunset is going to arrive on the horizon, so I got a good perfect Corvette and 5th generation will go headlight and display will be pop up. Just like the previous generations when it all came out by pre-production since 1989 and entered production between at the end of 1996. But I really think about all kinds of different versions of Corvette throughout the years and still have some good heritage that brings out to have a potential of V8 engines. That's why the first Corvette just came out in 1953 to have a good kind of a roadster was also to be definitely to becoming as the original kind of Corvette. But perfectly styled and well made as a vintage before becoming as a muscle car as the C2 and the C3 throughout in the years around by the 1960s, but still popular and still remains to have some facelift models to be changed up to have the Stingray will give a different type of the title when it comes to give a good characteristic name for every Corvette, just like the C06, C01, and also for having one different version to go for a Grand Sport. But I really think about the Grand Sport like the 4th generation and perfectly for the C5 which is well treated and give a good kind of a racing style ever since to be participate in Le Mans. So there it is, check mark number 2 clear and first position to be received at the podium. Brilliant and perfectly to give under 3 minute time by 2 minutes, 56.130 seconds, and second lap to go faster by a minute, 27.684 seconds. That's only have one good race for the segment and 15,000 GT credits to go double up after putting up with some working in practice by 10.6 miles, adding up by 5.2 equals for the update into 15.8. Now for the content replay by thumbnail image, just go over there between at the end of the first lap by around in the minute and 20 seconds. There it is right now. Take place before overtake on the Challenger and the Viper GTS. Just wait until the zoom in comes in and maybe perhaps I'll have to switch the views right now. Now let's see, which one should I have to pick the right spot? So there it is. Just give this one to go for a little zoom in. Alright, there you go, and perfect. One Corvette and the Viper has now entered the racing reunion of rivalry. That should do very well and give this replay save to have a nice, good, brilliant image. So, when arriving in California, that means Grand Valley Highway 1 will be heading out for race number 2. We'll go for different generations on Chevy Corvettes to be titled to be embraced to give a good one-make category. But I'm so very excited folks, but I don't know which one should I have to start out with to have my own kind of Corvette. It's all about to have my own UDRS Inspirtech livery to go for a decision of pick. Alright folks, this is going to be so very excited about the first round in the special event for all generations of Corvette from C1 to C8. Calling all Corvettes, take to the track in this explosive event for large volume V8s. We got the CR1 6th generation 2001, followed by C5 2001 in CO6 variant, C2 1963, two parts with variants for the 3rd generation Corvette Stingray by the hardtop and convertible in 1969, followed by to have the C8 Corvette Stingray 2020 and C7 Stingray 2014, CR-1 4th generation 1989, C7 CR1 2019, and the 1st generation C1 Corvette in 1958. Alright, so I got a perfect idea, and how about I'll have to go and decide to have my own UDRS Inspirtech livery and choose on the 6th generation Corvette 01 is perfectly for myself to go for the first one, and fresh serve to go enter to have some setting sheets will be organized. Got to go in sports top tires, have the full control computer to be equipped, and low end torque, calculate and update performance to go into a horsepower of 735 and have a racing intercooler, plus to have semi-racing, recalculate and go adjust it into 672.74 performance point. We'll be doing well to have some few parts, and don't forget to have the brake system to go for a slot disc and the pads set to be in racing. Alright, very nice. Just only have one sports suspension. We'll give a good adjustment to be on basic, and have the active LSD controller just in case, and have some specific part to go for a unique LSD to be amp up when using different versions on Corvettes. But one last thing, have the brake balance to be set in controller and give a same performance point to be marked by 702.60. Let's do this, folks. It's going to be very awesome to see all kinds of Corvette generations with some liveries will go into competition ready. It's going to be a lot of fun by over 80 years in the making since 1953 and onwards for the 21st century in the present day era. 5 laps, and I have to take a good look to see all kinds of different generations of Corvettes will be outfit and go with some different replica based liveries. Here they are right now, and oh man, looks like someone else might have to go green and give this good kind of a Gran Turismo 5/Gran Turismo 6 treatment for the race modification version. Baumgartner is on the 4th position, and I mean, look at them. Look at all these kinds of liveries for every Corvette from C1 to C8. Perfect, and I kind of go for it to see if our only competition to have my own UDRS Inspirtech livery will be join the party. As I'm a big fan of Corvette, in my thought, all I have to say, go right ahead and enjoy yourself. We might need to have a lot of strategies to have your own build to go climb up and achieve resourceful to be amp up and have a first position to go on the goal. Then let's get started and have a good ride. We'll go for a Corvette competition for a suitable one-man category to be in the first round as this special event for the weekly challenge. So I got a good overtake on El Rini in the Corvette Stingray 3rd generation 1969 as a hardtop version. Coming around and early overtake before turn 6, we'll have to go closer to be on the inside on Ichua for the 7th gen Corvette Stingray 2014. Very nice, and switching up to go into action by a first person view for the dashboard interior as I have a good eye on a maze in position 9 to go by 1.2 seconds left. So folks, I just put myself to go for a hard working of practice to be using in Sports Shop compound tires until the new attempt and the main segment will have to go currently to have a lineup in order to have a good dirt racing objective to be checked up and go proceed to the WTC 800 at Autodrome Lago Maggiore circuit to be on a full layout as I'm about to go for the Corvette C7 Group 3. Just wait until 2 road cars on different Corvettes and have one of them for only one encore, and the second for the Nissan GTR Cup will be needed to go for a list of lineup objective complete and along with the encore to be checked and placed. So I had to do all the best efforts for the strategy and see how it turns out to go for a characteristic of Corvettes just like the Dodge Viper one-man category at Daytona International Speedway road course and Trail Mountain Circuit. Got to go in there and have the final corner to be inside the tunnel. And there's 2 classic Corvettes and 1 for the C8 Stingray 2020. Got to go fast and quickly, second lap, and have a minute 58.187 seconds. Just keep it together. Turn 2 will go motion and competent. But man, just listen to the sound of the V8 engine by every different generations of Corvette. C1 to C8, 1958, and present in 2020s. But boy, I just really love about Corvettes is all about to have some different bygone eras when I was playing on the Game Boy Advance. Just only have one good nostalgia and bring out the good Corvette nostalgia same energy. Come on, El Martin. I could do this one. I'm always be prepared for a patient strategy to go up, and gap distance remains to be in 14.3 seconds as I'm about to go halfway mark on the grid during lap number 2. Easy does it, and easy go faster. Switching up to go into third gear, and climbing up to go offense before heading back in sector 3. Okay, there's Brian in the Corvette C7 CR1 2019, and also for M. Baumgartner for the C6 Corvette CR1 2009 with having a Gran Turismo 5 and 6 race modification livery variation. Just have to go through and have the C7 CR1 to go overtake before inside the tunnel. Brake well to go caution and motion when the headlights are being turned on. This should do well, and going enter to take the third lap will help myself to go for a new lap time record. But not yet. Just have to take 3 more Corvettes to go, as Ed Martinez in second place and S. Takahashi is still remain ongoing for having a battle of first place. But I'm not going anywhere until I have to join the party and race hard till I have to go competition for a Corvette success. Okay, there's T. Carly in the Corvette C06 5th generation 2001 to have a nice car number 64 as the Corvette C5-R since Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec and onwards currently in GT6. Just have to get behind the line and look at this livery. Turns out pretty nice and well-based replica variation to be turns out to have some fictional decal sponsor. And there's the opening, and still yet to have a good placement badge on the Le Mans 24-hour race endurance since the early 2000s. Very nice, and the hidden headlights is just perfectly to be turned out very well for only one road car. So here it comes by having a 10.8 second gap distance to go, viewers. But I can't wait. This will have to take one push for another until heading up to have the third round will be going lined up in session to be placed as a check mark. But I still got this one to keep going, and then second prizes will go for the 150,000 Gran Turismo credit until I have to be reaching up in first place in no time. I've always had to keep it well careful when it comes to be using on different methods. Just only have one racing medium compound tires will do the work. And here comes the fourth lap on the penultimate. Just wait until getting nearly there, down to 8.6 seconds. Almost there. Only 7.2 seconds left. This race is getting more challenging out there, but I can hardly feel it. Just feel it until you have to race hard to be reaching in first. There they are. I just saw them pass by a second ago. this might have to go through, and pushing up to go hard for having a new record I took by a minute 56.944 seconds. It feels like taking a one rally race for only one-on-one Corvettes, just like old times from different racing games by era. Come on, just have to keep pushing. It's only down to 5.4 seconds left to get back on top. And there goes one acceleration going in. Okay, wonderful, and I see them right over here at the far distance. Rolling up and coming through, we'll take the final lap to be down into 3.1 seconds to go. Okay, this will be doing a one close battle to have 3 Corvettes for the battle of first place. This will have to take one step closer to have a good eye on S. Takahashi and F. Martinez in position 1 and 2. But this will have to take some few turns and corners, so it'll have to take some braking to go heavy last and just have to keep it nice and calm. So I had to go and drop the hammer to catch up to the 4th gen Corvette CR-1 1989. So I got both of them on my sides and coming in onto Sector 2 again. Come on, I can hardly do it. Just make my UTRS slippery to go hard and embrace it like a dream. And there's car number 34 for the same Corvette C8 Stingray, followed by to have the 4th gen CR-1 is still ongoing in the lead. So I got a good Corvette in motion, and coming up to have the last sector, we'll take the last stand. But I can hardly feel it. It's getting closer. Just wait until the 4th gen is about to be dropped down in 2nd place. Nice handling, and my 6th gen Corvette CR-1 is going quicker to be in the lead. Coming in to have the tunnel, will go in the final stretch. This is going to be so brilliantly close. Only 4 seconds to be around by the minute and 50 seconds, and a good placement to be placed on the podium to go in first. Amazing, and Corvette competition complete. I got the good skills and attempted to go for a matter of method in case some helping tips will be doing helpful to be needed. First place for UDRS in Spotec, and wonderful by having a race time in 9 minutes, 44.818 seconds, and 4th lap I took by 1 minute, 54.581 seconds. Amazing, awesome, and heart-taking post-warming to see how it turns out for every generations on Corvettes for this week is brilliantly to see a weekly challenges turns out to go for round 1. But even perhaps there will be having some other kinds of Corvettes will be more likely to join the fun as well to be racing in Grand Valley Highway 1 for only 1 week until if I had to be predicted to have the 2nd round for the 1-man category for every 8 generations of Corvette. So that's 138,000 Gran Turismo credit to go earn, and well done to have the new workout session by having a next day will go into display by 16.2 miles, adding up by 13.2 miles because of my working attempted a practice. So that's a 4-star roulette ticket has been earned and successful. We have to go proceed to have 150,000 Gran Turismo credit to be earned. And one other thing about the replay for having a 2nd part in the main segment, I'll have to go and do the playback position to go quicker up to have a 1 perfection thumbnail image with any kinds of Corvette. But maybe this one right over here to be take place in turn number 2. But maybe perhaps I'll have to give this thumbnail image and have myself to give a good kind of masterpiece artwork. quicker and well deserved to have the second content replay for the week until the third week will go into the countdown before Friday will be proceeded to go entered in the 4th week of May. So all had to be wait, and then moving on to Autodrome Lago Maggiore Circuit for race number 3 to the World Touring Car 800.